Well, just because we're in the midst of a pandemic doesn't mean your aspirations also need to be on lockdown. A young designer interested in the business side of fashion has shown the way. Entrepreneur and model Adda Bhala has opened an online fashion academy where she offers fashion masterclasses, and she joins me now for more. Adda, thank you for your time and welcome.
Thank you for having me.
I'd like to go back just a bit in terms of where your love and passion for fashion started. Take me through.
My love for fashion has really started when I was just 9 years old. I was really obsessed with magazines. I come from a very stylish family, and so we always had magazines around, especially fashion ones in particular. And I think that's the first thing that ignited the spark of fashion.
Yeah, and usually when fashion designers also embark on the journey of fashion, they see a gap. Perhaps, either they feel like plus-sized women don't have enough clothes, or they feel like, African tribal prints need to be sort of well accounted for. What was your gap that you identified in fashion?
The gap that I identified is that there wasn't enough glam, modern, feminine clothes that were a little bit more fun. So that is what I decided to specialize in. Yes.
And now you're not only specializing it, but you're teaching others how to do so. Take me through how you're exactly helping other fashionistas.
So what I've seen is that the difference between traditional school and what I do is that traditional schools don't really focus on the business side of fashion. So that is what inspired me to start this online fashion masterclass where people can actually learn the actual skills from a designer that has an experience with fashion, and they can just embark on that if it's something that they're interested in.
So then what does the curriculum entail? Because you're making such a good point here that at times they learn the skill of actually sewing, but not the financial side. So what will they then sort of come across in your curriculum?
In my curriculum, what I actually focus on is pattern designing, which is very skill-based, as well as garment making. But I also introduce people to the world of fashion and what it actually takes to commercialize your brand and actually make things viable. Yeah.
And I suppose, this is the right time to have this conversation because the pandemic has hit the fashion industry just as hard. We know events obviously were not allowed. People couldn't dress up and look good. But from your perspective, how do you think this lockdown has affected your business?
For me, it definitely has affected it in the sense that I wanted to actually start a physical school. And once the COVID started, I couldn't obviously do that. So I had to now restructure and think about what other way can I make this accessible to people and still carry on with my mission.
And online is the way.
And online is the way at the moment.
How has it been received so far from those you've announced to that this is what you're embarking on?
The reception has been really amazing. People love it. Most people were a bit skeptical, but I had to actually kind of warm them up to it and say, you know what, guys, I'm taking you step by step. You can call me when you want to. I'll be doing live streams so that we can go through it together, and there's no way we can't win.
Absolutely. Online is the way now. Online is the way. So how can we get a hold of you if ever I'm thinking of just starting my journey in fashion?
Oh, okay. You can definitely get hold of me on social media platforms. I am Adda Couture, ADDA, and Couture with a K. And you can find my course on my website, which is addacouture.com.
All right then. Adda, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you so much for having me.
All right then.